Imagine for a moment that every person you look up to, an athlete, an entrepreneur, an artist, a leader, was once just like you. No special powers, no secret benefit, no magic formula. The difference is they followed rules that most people ignore. Principles that transform common effort into exceptional results. Today, I'm going to share with you 10 rules that will help you become the best at anything you choose. Not just good, not just better, the best. And these rules aren't theory. They are principles you can use the moment you walk out of here today. Clarity of vision is the foundation of becoming the best at anything. Without it, you're like a ship at sea without a guide. Drifting, moving, maybe even working hard, but not heading anywhere meaningful. The reason most people never rise above average is not because they lack talent or opportunity, but because they don't know exactly what they desire. They say they want success, but success is unclear. They say they want to be the best, but they can't define what the best looks like in their life. If you want to separate yourself from the rest, you must begin by defining the target with exactness. What does being the best mean in your chosen field? Is it reaching the pinnacle of your profession? Is it mastering a skill so deeply that no one can equal your expertise? Is it living a life of self-control and impact that others respect? Until you can answer that with clarity, you will always settle for less. Think about this. Every great athlete, every world-class business owner, every master of any craft started with a clear image of where they intended to go. They didn't stumble into greatness by chance. They had a vision so strong, so specific that it pulled them forward even when things got difficult. And here's the truth. Your vision doesn't have to make sense to anyone else. It doesn't have to be realistic in the eyes of people around you. What matters is that it's yours. When you define it clearly, you create a standard for your life. You stop asking, "What should I do today?" Because your vision already sets your choices. You know what aligns with it and you know what doesn't. Clarity also gives you focus. When you know the exact outcome you want, distractions lose their power. You stop chasing every shining chance and you commit to the path that serves your final goal. Imagine how much time and energy gets wasted because people don't know what they want. They keep changing direction. They start and stop. They get influenced by what others are doing and they end up nowhere close to mastery. The person with clarity wins not because they're faster, smarter, or luckier, but because they keep moving in the same direction long enough to arrive. But let me be clear, clarity is not just about writing down a goal once and forgetting about it. It's about revisiting it daily, reminding yourself why it matters, and seeing it in your mind until it feels real. When you do that, your brain begins to filter the world differently. You start noticing opportunities that align with your vision. You begin to feel drawn by purpose rather than pushed by pressure. And that shift changes everything. So if you want to be the best, start here. Define exactly what that means for you. Paint the picture so vividly that it inspires you every day. Break it down into details. What does your best self look like, act like, and achieve? Without that clarity, you'll wander. With it, you'll have a North Star that guides every action, every decision, and every ounce of effort. And when the path gets tough, as it always will, that vision will be the reason you keep going when everyone else quits. Discipline is the link between where you are now and the level of greatness you want to reach. Most people think they need inspiration to succeed, but inspiration is like a small flame. Feels strong for a moment, but it fades quickly. Discipline, on the other hand, is the steady fire that keeps burning no matter the weather, no matter how you feel, no matter what obstacles are in front of you. If you rely only on inspiration, you'll get bursts of energy, but no steady action. You'll start projects, but you won't complete them. You'll set goals, but you'll give up on them as soon as it gets difficult. Discipline is what allows you to keep going long after the first excitement disappears. It is the strength that carries you when your emotions are tired, when your body wants to quit, when your mind is searching for excuses. Think about the people you admire most. The world-class athletes, the successful business owners, the individuals who seem unstoppable. They aren't the best because they wake up motivated every day. They are the best because they built habits that don't depend on their mood. They show up whether it's easy or not. They train on days when their body hurts. They study when they'd rather sleep. They make the call, write the page, Lift the weight even when no one is watching. That's discipline. It is the choice to act according to your commitments, not your feelings. Discipline also gives you freedom. It might sound strange, but it's true. When you are disciplined, you are free from the mess of putting things off. You are free from the stress of always trying to catch up. You are free from regret because you know you gave your best effort every single day. People often mix up discipline with punishment. But discipline is actually the ultimate form of self-respect. It's saying to yourself, I'm worthy of my own commitment. I'm not going to break promises to myself. The reason consistency works is because it builds momentum. At first, progress feels slow. You go to the gym and nothing changes overnight. You study for hours and you still make mistakes. You practice your craft and it feels awkward. But over time, the repetition adds up. Just like a drop of water wearing down a stone, your daily actions carve out results that can't be denied. The people who quit too early never get to experience this adding up effect. But the ones who stay consistent, even when the results are invisible, eventually hit a point of change where everything changes. Suddenly, the person who was once ordinary looks exceptional. Not because they did something huge, but because they didn't stop doing the small things. Consistency also builds trust in yourself. Every time you keep a promise to show up, you strengthen your belief that you are someone who follows through. That self-trust becomes solid confidence. You stop relying on motivation to push you because you know discipline has your support. On the other hand, every time you quit or give up halfway, you weaken that trust and it gets harder to believe in yourself. Being consistent is not just about progress in your craft. It's about shaping the identity of someone who refuses to give up. Most people think they need to work harder, faster, or longer than everyone else to succeed. But what they really need is to work steadily, unwaveringly, and relentlessly. The difference between average and great is not talent. The staying power. The person who writes a page a day will finish a book in a year. The person who practices a skill for 30 minutes daily will master it in a few years. It doesn't require extremes. It requires patience, determination, and the willingness to keep showing up long after the excitement fades. The beauty of consistency is that it's available to everyone. You don't have to be the smartest, the most gifted, or the most connected.